Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let's carry on where we left off. Let's make it a long episode today because we've caught the two clowns on the witness stand in a lie. Their forked tongues have revealed themselves as they refuse to acknowledge the presence of a particular gentlewoman. At Dr. John Wilson's table, where he was found shot to death over a piece of steak, he didn't even order because he had some dental work done, and we all know sometimes it's cheaper to go overseas to get someone to look at your teeth. Anyway, Kazuma said that we need to review all our evidence. Someone is influencing things behind the scenes. They really want me to go down for this. I don't know why. Presumably, it's to do with diplomatic relations. Because if the gentlewoman is involved in the murder, well, that would honestly look very bad. So, let's go ahead and press this further. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. Please, wait, Your Excellency. Ouchie seemingly has no idea. The guy's sweating bullets, for goodness sake. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing. Crossed my heart and hoped to die. Just not by the death penalty, please. This is not perjury. And what does the defense have to say about all this? Well, Your Excellency, I didn't think I'd get this far. Oh, no time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Alright, well, who are we going to name? I mean, it's not like we have a large gallery of names to choose from, so this shouldn't be too bad. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is, and we've got Kazuma Asogi, Yujin Mikotoba, Taketsuchi Aochi, John H. Wilson, Satoru Hosonaga, Iesanosa, and Kiryo Correcta. Well, obviously these two didn't influence themselves. Dr. John Wilson is the victim, so he kind of influenced them because he's dead, unless we've got a spirit medium in the house. Aochi, I just mentioned, it doesn't look like he had any idea what's going on, and I like to believe him. You know, the Payne family's usually at the very bottom of the food chain when it comes to governmental affairs and prosecution. And Asogi, or Kazuma, as he's more affectionately known by his friends, he's pressing very hard on this, so obviously, you know, it's highly unlikely he's involved. So that leaves Mikotoba and Satoru Hosonaga. Now, we don't know too much about Mikotoba, because we only met him at the very beginning. Same with Hosonaga, to be honest. He's a medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. Does he have the influence? They mentioned something about someone who works in the government or a police officer or of some kind. I don't know if a medical school professor would have the necessary influence. Then again, he is the one who warned Kazuma not to get involved in this case because he suspects that, you know, things aren't going to go very well for me, and if he's basically got me on his cement shoes, he's gonna sink. Bad. Whereas with Satoru Hosonaga, this guy's clearly involved, right? I remember he got really, really nervous early on in the trial, of course. He's the head waiter of the European-style restaurant La Carnival. He was serving there on the day of the incident. I don't know if he has the ability to influence these guys, but what I do know is that he is certainly involved, so I mean, if we're wrong, we're wrong. We just go straight to Mikotoba. But let's go ahead and present Satoru Hosonaga. Well, surely that would be Satoru Hosonaga-san. Well, the music stopped, so that's usually a good sign when it comes to Ace Attorney, right? Hosonaga-san, the waiter who took the stand earlier.
Objection!
Poppycock! Oh, it's not often you see that word, but when it hits good. What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Yeah, not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter. He's not a waiter? Kazuma, are we bluffing? Are we bluffing already? Or do we know something? He did say we need to review the evidence, didn't he? So let's, I mean... Okay, we got his waiter's business card. That's probably a good place to start. Oh, we're gonna need our mouse for this one. Oh! Of course. There's always something on the back. I realized that when I first looked at this, I don't think I could have turned it around. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Well. Well, looks like we've accidentally come to the right conclusion, which is, it's always a pleasure when that happens to play out that way. What? If he truly were... Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity, as proven by this evidence. Well, handily enough, I just looked at it. Present the waiter's business card. I'm not sure what this is supposed to prove, Counsel. Oh, you gotta flip it over on the other side, Judge. I think, Your Excellency, that what this proves is not the true nature of the waiter, but the true nature of the accused. Sorry? A blackguard who would stoop to presenting irrelevant evidence to incriminate an innocent man. This is exactly what's going on with me, okay? That is the true nature of this rookie. What? Are you kidding me? Try again. Go over all the evidence we have one more time. Guys, you flipped the card around. I swear to God, there's something on the back. It's not two-dimensional. There's something on the back. What did I do wrong? I did present the business card, didn't I? There's something in there that proves who this waiter really is. I'm sure of it. All right, then. I'll try, I guess. But of course, we probably needed to, like, examine it or something, didn't we? Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look. Do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name, duh. It's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title. His job? Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. If they're wielding it somehow here. The waiter's business card information has been updated in the court record. That's what we needed to have. Okay, surely it will work now.
Yes!
Yes! The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question. You're giving this to me again? I swear to God, Ryunosuke. Sorry, defense counsel. I shouldn't be addressing you by your first name. This is getting to be ridiculous. I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything. Sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card like I said fucking last time. Turn it over. It's the back of the card that's of interest. The front of the back, front, side. I beg your pardon. Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is, for goodness sake, man. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? I'm turning in all sorts of different directions, and I can't comprehend. I'm the youth these days. Honestly, it really makes my head spin. Like the card should be spinning, sir. Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card, which is a pretty dumbass move, if you ask me, Your Honor. I mean, Your Excellency. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession. The waiter's profession? But that's surely waiting. Clearly. Why does a waiter need a business card anyway? Good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. I memorized it in the 2 minutes intervening. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? Like I said, Algie, you're always at the bottom of the food chain, I'm afraid. What a shame that, for generations to come, you still have yet to dig yourself out of the scrappy heap. The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Hold it! Who is it? Yep. Figured as much. Inspector Hosonaga! Well, did you do it? I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. That's right, that was when he got nervous, of course, when he handed his business card over. I should have known. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once! Of course. Here you are. That was when he realized he fucked up. Big time. Yes, I remember now. You should have asked to draw it on another piece of paper. Clearly. Or you should have scrunched it up in your head like, oops, sorry. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. Oh, unusual, I'm sure.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
It's on my business card. But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Oh, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Right. Damn. You had to work 2 jobs. Who's been cutting your pay? Oh, dear. Following in Gumshoe's footsteps, are we? Undercover. Really? Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. Do you get paid extra to be undercover, or what? In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That's classified information. That would be classified in police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the 2 witnesses beside you. You made them lie through their teeth. How dishonorable. You have sullied my court of law and truth. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume you're a liar like these 2 buffoons. That in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Oh, he's bleeding again. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! You guys are a fraud! Are fraudsters, sorry! I should pluralize it. As I suspected. Bang! As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, who I assumed, or I guessed, to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out, at long last. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders, and not the kind that a waiter would take. Special orders? You mean to say you didn't get asked for the chef's choice special? Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. Huh. From who? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. Okay, So, did you kind of just extrapolate from there? Let's remove the Englishwoman, and if she's the culprit, well, shit. I'm gonna blame this kid over here who picked up the gun stupidly, I might add. That was on me, you know. Nobody's perfect, okay. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interests not to pursue that idea. Oh, okay. Everyone's best interests. What about mine? You know, are you saying I should go down for this and I should be happy? I should smile and take it? The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right! Morally. And legally. You're all committing perjury just so we can be all cozy with Great Britain. Why is no one listening to me? Am I going insane? Am I being selfish here? I'm not the selfish one. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. And I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. You like how I add the English pronunciation of laboratory. Just a little touch that I thought I'd throw in. A little whackism, if you will. What? Just one Englishwoman studying in the medical faculty? You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean... When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Gizelle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty. Damn it. Now I'm stuck with the pronunciation of laboratory instead of laboratory.
What is happening here? Someone tell me! This isn't in any of my notes!
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. Clearly, they failed in that regard. My deepest apologies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
Are you kidding me? You're objecting to, like, insane amount of doubt surrounding my guilt?
But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send the telegraphic report to Great Britain. We're on a deadline here. You know, I need to be famous. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country, or any other, to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Damn, Judge. Much respect. Inspector Hosonaga? Yes, sir. You will locate this, Gizelle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. You can't do that. No, you're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to respect authority, you know, because it goes in my favor right now.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. Yeah, well, you're not doing a very good job on this one. So, it won't be a problem? I was gonna say that. Nothing will get in my way. Okay. Except your cough, I guess. Your asthma. Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Gizelle Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency!
Good. Then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. It's lunchtime. I mean, we didn't make the noon cutoff, right? To be continued! I forgot the screen existed. That's okay. It's fine. I've got no reason to stop now. Alright. 22nd November, 11:38 a.m. Not quite noon, but it's looking unlikely that we're going to reach the deadline in time. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 5. There are 5, at least, antechambers? Goodness me. This is an epic courthouse, or Supreme Court of Judicature, I should say. For an infant justice system, as they have mentioned. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. Ugh. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. You sure you weren't looking at Ouchie in the last 5 minutes there? Because I think I gained my confidence in the end. I started disc slamming pretty good, you know? Surely you noticed that. It was a grim sight. But before I knew it, he'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. That's funny, because this is a game about court. And you're the main character. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Gizelle Brett, a student from Great Britain. Is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. You don't even need a bracelet to tell you when someone's lying, even. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Okay, well, I don't know about friend, but the detective, sure. Or inspector, in this case. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. That was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. And just after I bent down and picked it up. You should have at least, asked, hey, Dr. Wilson, is that your gun on the floor? I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. And he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Wait, what? I don't recall this. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yeah, well, he was aware that someone else was in the room too, dining with Dr. Wilson, sorry. Gotta get his title right. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Hello. I knew it was going to be you. Professor Mikotoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. But me instead. But Kazuma could still advise me. So, you don't seem so bad after all, if I interpreted that correctly. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise. If I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. Damn, Kazuma. Much respect. Imagine that. Imagine your best friend saying that right in front of you. Oh my god. Like, holy shit, dude. You're a real brother. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then. It looks like it all comes down to you, young man. Oh, okay. No pressure. No pressure at all. To me? Yes. You need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. Even if I do, is it gonna fly? You know, am I still gonna go to jail anyway just because Great Britain's and our relationship with them is at stake? I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Really? Are you friends with Dr. Wilson? You are the head of the faculty, right? The medical faculty? If we just quickly go to people. Medical school professor, yes. He's an authority on forensic medicine, but I don't think he's the head of it. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UME. It's important that you mention that his middle name is H. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. Yeah, about that. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck! Why are you smiling? This isn't a smiling matter. Not only do you have a personal, investment in this case, you're smiling at the guy who could potentially go to jail forever, and on the account of being innocent, and you know it? Thank you, I guess. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Ooh, is it evidence? Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Oh, she's quite quaint, isn't she? Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what's hit them. Okay, by decisive blow, you're not seriously considering slashing them to pieces with your katana, right? Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really? Seriously, you're a real bro. Not that that's a colloquial term we use at this point in time. What for? Oh, come on, what for? Now you... Okay, jeez. You could have just, said, it's okay, you don't have to thank me, but no. You had to say, what for? Like you don't know already. You just want to hear it. Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. I don't have faith in the judge or the prosecutor. They didn't even know how to turn over that business card, for goodness sake. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. Whew, what a real champion of justice. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. Damn. Some would call it brave, others would call it stupid. I think it's pretty cool. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. Alright. You could treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. Okay, is that all I have to do? That's fine. At least I won't have a big fat legal bill. With an extra large portion, of course. Well, I'm glad he's not above, taking payment. 22nd November, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. Courtroom 2. Did we all have our lunch? I hope we did. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. Believe it or not, these English women are hard to find in our country. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under a rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Not sorry.
Oh, Ryunosuke, don't apologize!
Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. That's clearly more important than your innocent ass. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down in our nation founders? God, it's hot in here. Must be my ego swelling up again.
Again, terribly sorry. God, these people. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. Good point. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. He's just trying to intimidate you.
What do you mean?
You're not Ryunosuke. A secret trial. Anxiety over some foreign government's opinions. A bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing! Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in!
Not that you have a clue either, Aochi, okay? Let's be honest.
By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong! Diplomacy has never been more critical! We need to suck up to higher authorities! Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures!
Sure. Okay. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder, too. Standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel about very strongly. I didn't fucking kill Dr. John Wilson! John H. Wilson, okay? A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all.
No, stop with the profound quotes.
Oh. Write that down. Put that down in the history books, guys. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror. It's okay. Photographic prints are still in prototype. They'll just have to take my word for it. No one write down that I am wide-eyed.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system. It exists solely for the pursuance of truth. This isn't a roasting session. You can't call each other nicknames, please. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Gizelle Brett.
Yes. Your Excellency!
God, he looks like he's given up already. Whoa. Oh my. Very extravagant. Very posh.
Oh, well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine specimen, gentlewoman to Japan. And from such a distant land, too.
Tea? Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea. That's what I've read about anyway. I'm an armchair traveler. Is that true? No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I'm pretty sure he was asking Gizelle over there. We already know your profession. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at La Carnival, but my true—
Yes, we know all about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Oh, okay. Is it not ladies first here in Japan as well? I guess not. Is that true? No idea. We'll find out when we travel there together, partner. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes. I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Yeah, well, okay, I'm not an English major, okay? I'm studying to be a lawyer, right? I don't need to describe every little detail. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. Of only that. Shouldn't be saying guilty in a courtroom unless it's part of not guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. And phone number. Wait, no, those don't exist. Your telegram address.
Oh. Oh. Oh my god. What the hell? She's definitely a medical student. This handwriting is atrocious. Huh? Oh.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? English woman.
The lady says her name is Gizelle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yume University's medical faculty.
Oh my! Oh, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones and the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
As far as I could tell. The detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Oh, okay. Well, as long as we're sure he's not, you know, mixing things up a little bit for entertainment purposes. Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Cosima. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. I didn't understand a word, sorry. Court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. I had to add that adjective in, because I just heard counsel arguing with counsel about the fact that, their descriptions were poor. Anyway, now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Dining.
Steak.
She says yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
Not Haru Okumura. Japanese?
She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Oh, right, of course. She wasn't just traumatized by the sight of a man she was just speaking with, shot to death in a restaurant. She could easily go on and give her presentation like nothing happened. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Oh wait, sorry, that's my driver's license. Here we go, over here, this one. There's a dead body in it. You, like I said, you weren't traumatized because you gave a presentation shortly after, so you could definitely look at this black and white monochrome picture of a corpse. Seeing as you were so unfortunately, tragically, present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? If she fingers me, we know it's her. Saw.
Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say she felt bad? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Oh, it's like that, huh? It's like that, Omi? It's like that. Order! Order the court!
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? There we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our culprit is, or our real enemy is. Ooh, okay, I like that better. Enemy. And it's even in orange. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. I was just thinking of testimony. Well, she looks like she's up for it. Witness testimony! A frightening and sorrowful sight. Shooting. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. It was an unforgettable luncheon. I don't know if the Aurora Borealis was present. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak.
Eating.
After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? Do you think I'm that audacious? There's 3 people in the restaurant, not including, Madame here. I'm gonna argue in front of all of them, suddenly reach into Dr. Wilson's jacket pocket, steal his gun, shoot him in a fit of rage, and then have the audacity to plead not guilty and argue my case. Like, if that was the case, like, Hosonaga wouldn't have needed to influence his witnesses, and this would have been an open and shut case.
Blood everywhere.
I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Really now. Obviously, of course. Because, you know, we just mentioned that Dr. John H. Wilson was there, and he had a gun. I didn't even read what the judge said, damn it. I was too busy postulating. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
So it's not like you need to own a gun to commit murder. Quiet, you filthy wretch!
Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. Look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
Ugh. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. Sorry I wear my heart on my sleeve, goddammit. Ugh, but he's so annoying. He's a pain in the ass. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the 2 witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. Well, it's not like we can ask her to undress in front of everyone, can we? Especially because she's a foreigner. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Are you sure? Because there's a couple hiding places I think I can see. I would think she can hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. What about your enormous hat? Seriously? Those are the witness's own words on the matter.
Ugh, that's ridiculous! If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it!
I don't think we need to lift up her dress. I seriously do think it might be in her hat. Though that might be uncomfortable, walking around with a revolver sitting on your scalp. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. Please, I saw you undressing her with your eyes. And put your hands down!
But I didn't fire the gun I picked up! There must have been another gun there that day.
You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. How dare you smirk at me! The defense may now cross-examine the witness. That bitch. Okay, she's going down. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Psst. As far as I'm concerned, she's another Dahlia Hawthorne, only less intense. A frightening and sorrowful sight. Let's begin. Had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day.
Yes!
Yes, you did. After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are on vogue. Isn't that right?
Is that right?
No. Ah! Oh, damn it. I knew that magazine I've been reading was a scam.
A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
I don't think she's part of English intelligence. I don't think MI6 exists just yet. Does it? So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only. A beef steak. Is that it? You didn't order carbonated water?
Yes!
And why did you eat it like a savage animal?
He was unable to eat, you say. And that was because he just had a tooth removed at Hota Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. So much for, flawless investigative work again. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left?
Dear me, what a harrowing experience. Oh no, poor you. Poor Miss Brett, to have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Oh, the shame we have brought upon you. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. Meanwhile, I'm sweating buckets. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes. The professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. Okay. We know that much. Let's just quickly review the medical report card, please. On the day of the murder, the victim had undergone dental treatment and had been prohibited from eating or drinking anything but water. I don't know if carbonated water has got its own distinction, because it's more fizzy, right? So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. Is that true? Let's have a quick look. Did they? There's only one glass here. I don't like it. And it was left exactly as is, apparently. So yeah. It's a bunch of baloney. Should have had that for lunch. What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement? It's nothing. I'm gonna press everything else first. I just want to hear everything she has to say. I like being thorough. I can't really see anything wrong with it. Really? Alright then, if that's what you think. Kazuma? I was just kidding. I know that there's something wrong. I'm just going to see what else she has to say. Do you think it's significant in some way? Well, perhaps. But let's just do this your way. Maybe I should press her on that statement again. As if, I needed more of a clue. Like, this is the one, and you're skipping it. Are you sure? Normally when the game asks you these kind of... When Phoenix Wright asks Well, sorry, not Phoenix Wright. When Ace Attorney, let's go with that. When Ace Attorney asks you those kind of questions, it's like, was there something wrong? Do you want to press further on that particular thing? Like 90% of the time, it was always yes. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument.
Yes!
I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. I'm just the translator. God. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. Can you pass that message along? Can you just yell in her ear or something? But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. I thought we were having a nice, pleasant conversation. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. Well, even better. She can't understand what I'm saying.
No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway, oh god. English is the future. We must all be gu Ingrishu.
Oh, God. I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman, Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in with what you said, didn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that was when I'd finished my coffee and stood up to leave. She's doing the smile again. She thinks she's getting away with it? Psst, please. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. The horror.
Yes!
Press. Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point repeating that assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side. Geez, Civil War much?
Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand.
Technically the truth. Well, yes, that's true, but... Oh no, we've lost our powers. But all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time. The highly suspicious lady in the stand!
That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel.
Dirty? I had a shower this morning. Although I'm sweating a lot now, I'm probably dirty.
Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy.
Well, her actions are the ones that's causing an incident right now. It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours.
What nonsense! I'm the prosecutor, okay? We don't prosecute unless we have evidence.
The lady is merely stating what she saw. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Well...
Yes!
Yes, you could have. It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes. Immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." And that's it. That's all you did? You just asked her? Well, I don't think he could have put his hands on a Englishwoman. Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Why on earth not? You shoved me in a pantry and you didn't want to get hands-on with her?
The honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. She's telling the truth. There was obviously no need for any further probing into the matter.
I'll probe her clothes and find out where she stashed that gun, but I'm still convinced it's underneath her hat. Or there was no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps.
Think what you will. But if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts.
In other words, he wants evidence.
Bang, bang.
The lady wishes to point out that, of course, she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation. But duty called. But she was in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your office had told you to get the woman out of there. Not get her out of there, I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime, because that would be incriminating. Which is why she is only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course.
Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You could at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you!
No, I'm learning. Kazuma's taught me well. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie! Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform. I'm dressed exactly the same way as you are, except for the flapping red ribbons, by the way. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you, with your thick skin, must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well. I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either. But we have seen it, haven't we? The first thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that, and an opening will present itself. I promise you. I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination. Alright, let's hit her with the truth. Okay, unless Dr. John H. Wilson toasted with his hands and had the carbonated water, like, cupped in them, I think it's very meaningful. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing?
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well. Miss Brett, kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony.
Gladly, she said.
That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one. Which one?
The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase.
I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Hey, showmanship is half the battle here, okay? Okay, we've had rockstar prosecutors before as well. I ordered a beef steak for myself and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. Present the photographic print. This one. Yes, that's the one.
Yes!
Haha! That's it. I like that, in-thinking animation. Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. So, did he drink out of the vase? That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd. Very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ugh. Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you?
Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers?
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not one. Oh. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae?
Minutia, sorry?
What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I like it when the defense gets all riled up. Oh man, I'm watching the Ace Attorney anime right now with my wife because I tried to get her to play the game. She's a lawyer herself, but she just didn't have the time to play the game. So I figured, you know what, it's easier to just get her to watch the anime. It's all right. You know, having played the games, I feel like it's missing a lot, but for her, it's perfect. And I just like how every time we pick up a contradiction, we say, "Or are you trying to say this?" And they make like a ridiculous remark, and it's always hilarious. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. Why? What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I needed a glass of water, so I took it and brought it to the university with me. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. What? No, that is incredibly suspicious. Good gracious. Oh no, don't you try. I wonder what her eyes look like. If they're like just maniacal or something. Sorry.
There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all.
Oh, please.
We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray?
That's absurd. If she can conceal a glass, she can conceal a gun.
Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief?
What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the sea.
Hand.
It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. Oh, okay, so she has something she can conceal stuff in. A handbag, you say? She took a glass off the table and put it in her handbag? Is she a kleptomaniac? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on this case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning. But I won't fall for logic. In the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You've wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. Satisfactory, my butt.